On today's podcast, we have quite possibly the greatest realtor of our time nationwide, the sales giant, Bryan Karp. Yeah, okay, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Handsome Homebuyer podcast. My name is Charles, aka Handsome Homebuyer, aka Captain Permit, aka I'm going to spare you on this early Friday morning, aka El Judío Maravilloso. You know who I'm not going to spare on this Friday morning? He's in here, pumping away, working hard, serving the real estate community 24/7. He is Captain Permit, 516-513-8838. If you need plans, you need permits, if you need anything permit related, and I'm talking from Montauk all the way to the Queens border. We will be in Queens one day, just not today. In the meantime, we are dedicated to perfecting the permit service that nobody yet has across Long Island. So we're talking interior alterations, new construction, legalizations, commercial, you name it, we do it. And I would dare to say we have the best looking permit crew in the business. 516-513-8838. Obviously, I'm the Handsome Homebuyer. If you have a house that smells like cat pee, is dated from the 1960s, has 6 inches of mold on the wall, human waste floating past the basement steps, commercial property, land, you name it, I'm quick, I'm easy, I'm all cash. Lord knows I'm a good time. I want to buy it. Hold on, where's my Post-it? Is my Post-it here? Yes! Another shameless plug, right? Text platform. Have you heard about my text platform yet?
I have not.
We're going to talk about this.
Please.
It's freaking dope. You got to do this. You would love this. Okay, if you are out there and you are interested in real estate in any capacity and you keep saying, I don't have a guru, a mentor, or anybody who's on a super high level that I can talk to, shoot a text to, bounce something off of real quick, you have no more excuses. Copy this number down, 516-871-3511. This is my new text platform. It is me. You can shoot me a text 24/7. I get back to people every day asking me any questions regarding rentals, investing, new construction, development, private money, anything. You name it. This is an exclusive all access to Handsome himself. 516-871-3511. All right. We are into the madness. You know this is going to be a good one because I had a dream about this guy last night. And I rarely have dreams. I had a dream about this guy last night.
You were just so excited.
I don't know. It was actually this morning. It was like 5:30. I woke up at 5. I'm like, I went back to sleep. And there you were in my dream with a freaking luscious head of hair, bro.
Not as nice as the hair. Well, not the hair I had when I had hair was not nice hair. So,
No?
No.
I had freaking...
It was curly, nappy. It was terrible. I always say that I would be so successful if I had a good head of hair.
But
like if I had some great like slick back hair, like with some blonde locks at the back, oh my God, it'd be a game changer.
I mean, in all seriousness, it would be hard for you to be more successful.
I appreciate
than
that.
What you are.
Thank you.
So it's probably better. I mean, realtors would probably be jumping off of buildings if you were doing better than you were. So maybe it's better that you don't have the locks.
Okay, fair enough.
So for those of you who don't know this gentleman, I'm going to let him kind of introduce himself as well. But he is one of the stars, I would say the star of the recent Long Island real estate revolution for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society that we blew out earlier this year. He is the number one agent on Long Island in volume. Have you ever looked to see what you did volume compared to people nationally?
Oh, I just found out.
Not teams.
Yeah, so and that's what happens is everyone throws these teams together, and I have such huge numbers and huge volume and transactions. They try to throw me with teams, but anytime you hear Bryan Karp stats, it's just individually. We're not grabbing everyone else's stuff.
100%.
So I just found out that I was the number 4 agent by volume and transactions in all of New York State, and then to top that, the top 3 people who are in front of me, all REO brokers.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, so exactly. So let's break that down for everyone.
Count.
What's an REO or foreclosure broker? That is someone who literally has a contract with Fannie, Freddie Mac, Bank of America. And literally what happens is it's that one amazing relationship, and God bless them, it's a great relationship to have. And basically what they do is they get hundreds and hundreds of distressed assets. Bryan Karp literally sits belly to belly with every single one of my sellers and negotiate every single one of the transactions and make sure they get from going on the market, in contract, and close safely.
Yeah.
So I do believe it's a little bit more impressive, but it does at the end of the day,
So it is much more impressive. You earn every listing as a one-off. Every single listing you earn.
Right,
even
there's
to
no
this
packages.
day.
There's no packages. Once in a blue, I'll have a 3-lot subdivision, but I still have to earn that relationship with the builder. There's no 50-lot subdivisions Bryan's selling. It's all one-on-one, meeting the sales giant, feeling comfortable, confident with the marketing machine that I built, and then deploying it on Long Island.
So in case you haven't realized it, today we have the man, the myth, the legend, the number one agent. I mean, I think you're probably top 5 in the country. We have to research this.
Okay, get the team on it.
Bryan Karp, the sales giant, Coach Real Estate.
Thank you.
Good to have you, man. Dude, you were here before we had video, right? You were here in like the early. That's actually how you and I forged our love for each other.
Absolutely. And it was I think you reached out to me. I think I pushed off once.
Yes.
Because anytime someone asks me, I'm not going to just say yes right away. I'm
like, I'm going to haunt his life.
No, I think within 2 or 3 times, you were like, stop it. Come on, you can do this.
Yes, you're like, I don't have time. I'm like, you're full of shit.
I don't know if I didn't say I had time. I just was.
It was something.
It was like a mid-afternoon. It was like a 2:30. You wanted to like get together. We couldn't wrap it.
You said something which I respect. Because listen, here's the thing that I think people have to understand about people like yourself. I'm sort of getting there, and there's other people as well that I've met that I didn't understand. You are as nice of a guy as there is out there. I'm telling everybody, if you don't know Bryan Karp, he is a salt of the earth, family guy, heart of gold, just amazing person. If you try to reach out to him, it's not that he doesn't want to talk to you, because he loves everybody. But his life and successful people's lives is absolutely fucking maddening.
Bananas.
All the time. All the time. We have to show a picture of like what your calendar looks like in some capacity, because he's literally scheduled every like 30 minutes for his entire life. Like everything you do.
And then when something ends, there's another block of time sitting there to catch up on what is there. Like if you know that you're busy, that if I'm meeting with Charles from 8 to whatever we blocked out for this, I had to carve out another hour to be ready to handle anything that has come in during the time that me and you sat here.
To catch up on.
And plus, on top of that, I prepared anything going on right now. I made sure whoever was handling it had alternate numbers and alternate directions to handle the situation. Because you could almost, you almost know what happens. I've been doing it so long, and the volume that I'm doing it, it's like I have the magic 8-ball that you shake, and it comes up, and I know what it's going to say. So I can almost see what's going to happen bad at the walkthrough, what's going to happen bad at the appraisal. They may not get in. The lockbox may not work. Well, you need to have alternate numbers. The appraiser may be running late. Like, I know everything that can go wrong.
Yeah.
I almost say I'm a firefighter.
Yeah, you're setting up contingencies to make it smoother. And I'm sure you'll agree with this, regardless of how many contingencies and things you set up, it's still madness. Shit still goes wrong. You still get text messages and phone calls and things like that. And I mean, anybody who, we also have to show we got to take a picture of the outside of his car and work it in, and the inside of his car and work it in, because literally he's driving around in a mobile office. That is a Camry.
Yeah.
It is 100. It's this simple, people. Do you want to sell 205 houses a year? I mean, do you want to sell 30 houses a year? Whatever it is. It takes unwavering, sickening determination, sacrifice, and work ethic.
Yep.
And it's that simple. So for the people at home, give like the 3-minute kind of overview version of your story of where you came from and how you got into real estate.
Okay, so I always say it's the first comic book. The first comic book of Bryan Karp, very close to where Charles, we both grew up very close to each other.
Yep.
So I grew up in Belmore, Nassau County, was never the school person. Wasn't a bad kid in school, but I literally had zero interest in school. I would sit in science class, just like I'm sitting here, belly to belly from you, and my knee would be racing up and down, and I would stare at the classroom door leading to the hallway, and there'd be a clock, and literally that clock would be frozen. And that 45-minute science class felt like 4 hours long.
It was torture, huh?
It was torture. Today, I wake up at 4 a.m., I go to bed at 10 o'clock, and the day is gone in a snap.
Actually, 3:30 lately.
3:30, I know.
The coffee machine's been reading 3:30. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, 3:30. But you know what it is, Charles? It's the only quiet time I can get.
Yeah.
And it's the only time, like, I'm in such a good mental state from 3:30 to like 8:30 because there's no fire needing to be put out, no craziness. I'm able to handle everything, organize everything. And then next thing you know, it's just madness.
What time do you go to sleep?
10 o'clock.
Shit.
10:30, sometimes 9:30.
That's 5 hours. That's
5 hours.
That's impressive.
5 to 6 hours is really all you need. Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'll paraphrase.
Just sleep faster.
Yeah, sleep faster, exactly. So people who don't know the Arnold Schwarzenegger quote, he basically says you need 5 to 6 hours of sleep. People who need 7 or 8 hours, sleep faster.
Sleep faster.
Yeah. So school was never my thing. My father worked for Con Edison for almost 40 years.
Wow.
And he said, Bry, school's not for everybody. Learn a trade.
Which is awesome that he said that.
He was smart because, for people who don't really know me, I have a severe learning disability. So I'm dyslexic. And dyslexia is when somebody has difficulty reading. And today I read on a 4th or 5th grade level. And my writing is atrocious. If it wasn't for Siri or my wife and my mother back in the day, or my assistants or voice text, nothing would ever get done or read.
Yeah.
And so when they looked at Bryan Karp as a young man, like, I was never supposed to go to college. I was never supposed to really make it out of high school. So my dad, who was really smart, was like, and he was an electrician. He was like, listen, this is a great job. So he said, go to a trade school. And I never ask why. Like, I'm very coachable.
Okay.
So I just said, yes, Pop. And I went to a BOCES. Like, I'm never, like, if I know it's the right direction, there's a lot of people out there that question it.
Okay.
And not me, not Bryan Karp.
What, you just innately felt that was the right path
I just
for
said,
you?
this is someone I
trust your father
This is someone I look up to and respect.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I did it.
Wow.
And I went to a trade school for 2 years. And my plan was to graduate high school and go out into the trades.
Okay.
And I remember being at my house in Belmore, and we had a circle wooden table with these like wheelie chairs. And I remember sitting, because I can never sit still in the wheeling chair, just like this. My mom here, my dad here. And my dad was like, all right, so here's the plan. I'll get you hooked up at Con Edison. We'll get you a job. Before you know it, you're a mechanic. You're set for life.
Okay.
And I'm like this. And my mom's like, because I was a really, really blessed athlete.
Yeah.
So my mom was like this with all of the layout of every college that was like, we want Bryan Karp. We want Bryan Karp. We want Bryan Karp. So I was like this. And my dad's like, I really think he should go out there. My mom, and I'm going like this. My mom's like, are you serious? Like New Hampshire, Buffalo, Stony Brook, often full scholarships.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. I'm like, and everyone was like, oh, it must have been a really hard decision. Because 2 different people on my shoulder, mom, dad, do this, do this, do this. But it was an easy decision because I thought about it, I prayed on it, and at that time, football was my addiction.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Football was my passion. Football is like what I literally woke up every single day thinking about. And I ended up getting a full scholarship to go to Stony Brook University.
That's massive.
So, like, the big thing, Charles, and I think I've been able to pluck this from myself, and I'm sure you could find it in yourself, and now I'm looking at the new version of it. But what do you do when nobody is watching? What are you interested in when no one cares what you do? Like, so at that time, football is what all of my energy. Whenever I could, I was reading Muscle and Fitness. Whenever I could, I was working out. Whenever I could, I was, trying new diets and new workout plans. And now my addiction is real estate.
Yeah.
Like, why am I one of the best and most knowledgeable about the subject? Because even when I'm not running my business, I'm reading real estate. I'm watching real estate. I see myself on the couch looking at multifamily investment opportunities out of state when I just had like unwind time.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so passionate about this, because at that time football was my addiction. Today, real estate is my addiction.
So tell people, just so that, because there's so many things I want to dive into, but if someone doesn't know you and they've heard of this, I want them to understand early on in this podcast exactly what you've accomplished in the last. So you ended up going into the trades post high school. Post
high school. So graduated from college 2005, top of the real estate market, and I'm like this. Oh my God, I can't read, I can't write. But that's really what uncannily, that's really what my mind was saying. Like, holy macaroni, what am I going to do? Like, my mom is one of the reasons I'm where I am today, because she built me up to make me really believe that I'm special. So she was like, you're so special. You're so special.
Awesome.
So special. And I try to do that with my boys today. Like, all I do is whisper encouragement to them. Like, you're so special. Like, you're amazing. You're amazing. So my mom, my whole life, always did that. So I there was inside here me saying, oh my God, I'm special. I'm here for greatness in some capacity, because that's what she said to me, even if it wasn't true.
That shit is so important, man.
Oh my, it's unbelievable.
The lottery is not being born into, money or fame or any of that stuff. the lottery is being born to awesome parents who do shit like that.
Unbelievable, stuff like never, and literally made me feel that at all times I was walking on water. Even still today, still today. Let's look at the text message I received this morning from my mother, which was, where is it? We're going out to dinner. Happy Friday 13th, my star broker. Can't wait to catch up this weekend. And she sent me pictures of bacon and steak because we're going to a steak place.
That's awesome.
Like, as a 30-year-old man, how amazing is that your mother every morning and multiple times a day is just checking in with you?
Yeah.
So from the beginning, she always was like, oh, you're special. You're special. You're special. So I graduate 2005 and I'm like, oh my God, I can't read, I can't write. My mom says I'm special, but she doesn't own any companies, right? So what am I going to do? And my dad was like, listen, you just spent it took me 5 years to get out of college. You just spent 5 years. You want me to get you in the trades? Like, what do you want to do? And I'm so lucky that a friend of mine on the football team gave me this book that changed my life forever. And the book was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
That's what's up.
Yep. I must say the book once, and one day Robert Kiyosaki is just going to pop out because I say it multiple times a day because I tell people a lot of times like how I got in this game. And, all the book talks about is real estate, entrepreneurship, and passive income. And I literally felt like they wrote the book for me. Yeah. Now, I didn't read the book. I want you guys to picture this. I say a lot of times that I read the book, I listened to it. Yeah. And back in the day, Charles, they didn't have YouTube. It was probably a baby at that time, and you didn't have Audible.com. So literally, I had a big tape recorder, looked like as big as this, from the Blind and Dyslexic organization, and it had cassettes that were 4-sided cassettes because when books were so long, they didn't want to tape up too many books. It came in like a plastic thing that had Braille on it. And I literally had it in the front seat of my '89 LeBaron convertible, and I listened to the whole book.
Oh, that's awesome. You never told me that part.
Yeah. And I was literally like, oh my God. And the tape recorder, it's almost like they wanted to embarrass me. The tape recorder was like bright yellow. So it was like, I would be walking around with the tape recorder with like headphones. It was really, but it changed it. It changed it. And as soon as I read that, I was like, oh my God, I want to buy rental houses. Yeah. And I ran out in 2005, top of the real estate market, and I bought my first 2-family house. And at that time, my beautiful wife, Jessica, was just my girlfriend. So me and her living upstairs. We rented out the entire downstairs for $2,000. And my mortgage payment was $1,900 a month.
Win.
And I'm sitting there making $100 a month. And I had the aha moment. And like the light went off. And I'm like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do in my life. I'm going to buy rental houses. But then we had mortgages, kids on the way. And everyone was like, you need to get a job. You need to get a job with benefits. You need to get a job with retirement. And back to me being coachable and back to me listening, I was like, yes, no problem. And I went into the union. And I was a union construction worker for, almost 9 years while I was building my real estate business and empire.
So talk about you received, as you call it, a master's degree in real estate while literally working the trades.
Yeah, so when I worked at trades, it was very difficult for me because, and it was a great, amazing job being in the union, and I still pay my dues, and I'm still there at any rallies that my brothers need for it. But it was very difficult for me to put a happy face on because I knew that I wanted something else. But basically what I did is I woke up at 4 a.m. I would race into Manhattan. I'd get to Manhattan around 5 o'clock. I would park my car. I'd find a gym to work out in. And I'd literally just walk in any gym. The nice thing about gyms is if you have a gym bag and like a tank top and you wave at the counter girl or the counter guy, they usually just think that you belong there. So most times I would just Google close gym and I would park my car and I'd work out from 5 to 6 and then I would find a spot to put my car in and then I would work. I would work construction from 6 and I would skip coffee, I would skip lunch, and we were working 7-hour days, but with coffee and lunch it was more like 5.5, and I'd work 5.5 hours straight. And my bosses were fine with that because they knew that Karp was working his ass off. And you got to picture this, that you're on a union construction site, I'm wearing a hard hat, I was an insulator, so I'm wearing a respirator, safety goggles, and like neon jumpsuit. Yeah. I really love the coveralls. I always love the coveralls. And I would be listening to, this is before you had an iPhone. Yeah. So I had like, I don't know if it was like a iPad or an iPod. Yeah. And I would have every single, this is when podcasts first came out, and I would buy, when I had money, I'd buy every book I can get my hands on, anything to do with real estate, finance, entrepreneurship, and the economy. And literally, so remember, I drove in for an hour, I would work for 6 hours, I'd work out for another hour, I'd drive home for 2 hours. So 10 hours a day for almost 9 years, I digested anything I can get my hands on about all of those subjects.
And you were a practicing real estate agent at that time.
Yeah, I was doing 50, 60, maybe 70 transactions a year as a part-time job while I was working my union construction job.
Which is nuts.
So
like you'd get home at what, 2 o'clock?
Get home around 2 o'clock and I would hit the streets.
And then hit the streets.
Hit the streets, grind until my eyes bled. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, go to bed, wake up the next morning.
And just again, so people know, over the last, what have your numbers looked like as far as transactions over the last 3 years?
Okay, so let's see. Let's back it up. 2017, I did 141 houses. Mm-hmm. 2018, I did 142 houses. 2019 was unbelievable. I did 205 houses. Just under 90 million worth of residential real estate. And we're sitting in 2020. Year to date, I've done over 130 transactions. In COVID.
In a market where literally for 1 quarter, you were
120 days we were shut down in real estate.
Yeah.
And
so if you weren't, you would have been back there again.
We're right back there. So multiple years of 100, you average it across the board, multiple years of 150 houses plus a year.
So I'm going to ask you the question that every realtor that is sitting on the edge of their chair listening to this right now is thinking, which is, how in God's name did you do that? They're trying to do 20 and you're doing 60 or 70 while working a full-time job while sleeping for 3 hours, and last year you did 205.
Because they're telling themselves they can't do it. That's the God's honest truth.
Do you think it's
mindset.
Almost all mindset?
All mindset. I'm like I like to say the Terminator, or like I've just built myself to do this and scaled it up and never was watching or counting the deals, just was running crazy fast every single day. And next thing, I remember like 4 or 5 years ago, I woke up and someone's like, Brian, you just sold like 100 houses. Like the years before that, I think 16 and 15, I was doing 100 houses. And someone's like, like my assistant, my work wife was like, you just did 100 houses. I'm like, that's crazy. But I didn't even care. I'm never looking at the stats. I say this all the time, but this is the God's honest truth. I'm looking in the mirror and just trying to be a better version of Bryan Karp every single year in every single capacity. Family, my kids, Brody and Brock, my wife, Jessica, my relationship with my wife. I'm always trying to be a better husband. My business, my other businesses, my health and fitness. Like this year, I stepped up my health and fitness. I'm doing cardio 6 days a week now.
Jesus.
Never did cardio in my life. And I said, I'm 37 years old. I need to do cardio.
You got the Peloton.
Got the Peloton.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peloton.
I'm not going to give out my Peloton name so no one can follow me or hit me up on there. But yeah, I'm doing it 6 days a week. I love it.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
So every aspect, every capacity, I am trying to be a better version of Bryan Karp.
Amazing.
Playing against myself.
Yeah, and that's really what everybody should be doing.
In an infinite game.
Yeah.
Like the game that me and you are obsessed with is an infinite game.
And that's the thing. I was always like, when does it end for me? At what point do I get to the level where I can chill out? And then I ran into a buddy of mine who I rarely ever see on a train. And every time I run into this kid, every 5 or 6 or 7 years, he drops some crazy knowledge on me, or I realize something about myself in that moment. And as I'm sitting on the train with him, just like him and I in the train car, he said, "Oh, when does it end?" And I said, "Oh, when I launched the private equity fund, this, that." He goes, "Bro, it never ends."
Yeah.
It never.
Infinite game.
It never
Never ends.
And I mean, listen, I get you and you get me. We're cut from a very similar cloth and came from a very similar place. And but there's a lot of people see the glitz and the glamour of what we do, but there's a lot of sacrifice and things that come with that people don't realize. Like you and I, you've said something to me, and probably this is the thing that resonates with me most of all the things you've ever said to me, which was, I don't wish this sickness on my children.
I don't. It's the God's honest truth. I hope my kids get a 9-to-5 job. They love it and are passionate as much as me and you are about what we're doing today. But this is not healthy.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It's literally, from let's look at Thursday morning. Thursday morning, I'm up at 4 a.m. and I didn't walk in my house last night until 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then my wife has dinner ready for me. We unwind and catch up on all of our other businesses that she's helping with and everything else with our life and plans for football practice and soccer over the weekend. I go to bed at 10:30 and I'm back up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. And the same thing happens the next day.
Exact same day.
7 days a week.
Yeah, the Saturdays and Sundays are crazy, literally, and it's so sick and it's so sad. And that my wife knows that if we were just out on the soccer field for an hour, she's driving everywhere because I'm catching up on my phone.
Yeah.
Like if I'm coaching, and I take pride in it that I'm coaching every sport of my kids. But after I have lacrosse practice tomorrow from 11 to 12, after that it's going to be an hour to an hour and a half of catching up on stuff.
Yeah.
I'm in an appointment for 2 hours. There's an hour of catching up on stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't wish this upon anything. We go out to dinner. My wife's always driving just because she knows that Bryan needs to handle stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so built within, which is, so I don't wish this upon anybody. It's a sickness. And that's something I'm always working on, is trying to be more balanced. But unfortunately, someone who you can't be balanced when you're obsessed.
Yeah. I struggle with like the guilt of it sometimes personally. I'm like, am I supposed to be dedicating more time to, girlfriend, family, friends? People say to me, oh, like, you don't see your friends as much. And I am so caught up in this machine that I'm building and taking it to the next level and the rush of all of it that it's so tunnel vision. And I don't mean to neglect people in my life. If I am, I try not to. I try to be giving to everybody. But you get so focused on these achievements that there's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm with you. And I've neglected my friends for a decade. And I don't really have any friends because of that. Besides like my brother-in-laws and my wife and people that are some in my business capacity, just because I've neglected it. Like I can't go out on a Thursday night for dinner for 2 hours because then there's 2 hours worth of stuff that needs to be cleaned up after. Plus that spot was dictated for an appointment or something else. Yeah. So listen, no one empathizes with you more on that end as well, but this is my obsession. What we're building, and I love it. I love every second of it, even though it is so taxing. And I walk on an appointment yesterday and 18 text messages, and I can't even. I don't even literally. They could have carjacked my car. They could have jacked it up, stole the tires off it because I'm like this, returning text messages, this, delegating this, moving this, writing this down. I can handle this later, just to catch up, so then I can walk in another appointment.
But I would argue to say, because this is how I feel, and again, I feel we're very similar. You can't. I only feel comfortable operating in a world of extreme chaos. Mm-hmm. Like if you didn't come out of that meeting to 18 text messages, you would probably be like,
what's wrong?
What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be unnerving for you.
Right.
I'm the same way. I'm like, if we are not if there aren't deals pouring in and just craziness and shit going wrong and stuff that we're fixing, then, and I'm not, blocking every minute of my time or always busy, I feel like something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I just want people to understand, in order to be super successful on a level, there is sacrifice and you have to be obsessed with it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like when I was younger, it was football I was obsessed with.
Yeah.
Now it's obsessed with real estate. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And listen,
that's why I want to be that's why I think I'm the best at it, or one of the best at it, because there's no one who's more knowledgeable, because you don't have to force me to read about it or listen about it or educate. I can't, it's like that mistress that just pulls you.
And if there comes a time where you leave real estate or becomes less appealing, you will replace that addiction with something else.
Without a doubt.
There's just no question. That's just the way that we are wired.
Yeah.
So the awesome thing about you is that, like you were saying, every year you are trying to become a better version of yourself in every aspect of your life. And in 2020, in the midst of just total chaos, you made a lot of big moves.
Yeah.
Got into a bunch of different businesses. You're launching an online product. You changed brokerages and aligned yourself. You're now a broker owner of Coach Real Estate. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell everybody about all the on top of everything you're already doing.
And we're still selling houses.
Yeah, throw some more wood on the fire.
Yeah. Still had a championship football team, still coaching lacrosse, still got a few W's in soccer. So we still got everything accomplished that was on our list. So I had an incredible opportunity to partner with Coach Real Estate, which I'm so elated, so thrilled. They had the same vision of where they want to bring the company and what they're doing with the company, and me. And it was really so flattering. You said in the beginning, I'm a real, I'd like to think, down to earth, nice person
100%.
Who answer anyone's question, here to help you. I sell from my heart. Like, I'm only here as an advisor to every one of my clients. And when I met, Whitney and LP, they were literally like the same people as I was, just cut, in a different area. So it was a no-brainer to do that. And then they had the same vision of what we're trying to do is build out the Bryan Karp team. And today there are so many people reaching out that need my help in real estate, and not all of it is the exact capacity that I am the guru in. So what I've done is I've basically now brought in a team, and now we're able to serve them in multiple different capacities. So we brought on some more buyer agents to really help my clients who maybe are looking to buy a house in an area that I don't serve all the time. We brought in someone to help us in the commercial side, and just building out the team so we could finally serve every need. Because a lot of times I'd get someone who needed something, Charles, and I'd just say, listen, I'm not the guru in that aspect. And I'd say, good luck. Now I'm able to refer them to someone that now has the Bryan Karp stamp of approval behind them and works the way that I work. Yeah. So it's an amazing partnership. I'm so excited for it.
Nice. That is amazing. But don't stop there. There's more. So wait, there's more.
So big thing for me, and literally this has been on my yellow pad, and
awesome.
I'm obsessed with yellow pads.
This is awesome.
And I did bring your guy's boy, Charles, the Handsome Homebuyer, in for collaboration on this, just for naming and stuff like that, because he is a marketing genius or marketing maven. I'll keep them coming. You guys are going to pluck that out and use that sound clip all the time.
Thank you, sir.
But I've built an online course. It's called the Illiterate Millionaire.
Awesome.
It's literally my baby. I am pulling back the curtains of my entire business. So never before in real estate has there ever been a roadmap, a blueprint, how to build a multi-million-dollar real estate business without spending $1 on buying leads. And for years and years, everyone wants to know how it's done. So what I've done is I've ripped a curtain back, and it's about 5 hours worth of video modules. Yeah. And it's a step-by-step blueprint how to build a 7-figure business. Yeah. And not being a broker owner, not running a big team, being a lone soldier real estate agent out there slinging belly to belly with hundreds and hundreds of people a year. So it goes in from my morning routine down exactly what my week looks like, every sales script that I have, every email template that I have, and then every single thing down to all the different prospecting methods I do, exactly what I say when I'm prospecting, and exactly where I find business and created the business from.
So let's also, for people to understand, if you're not from New York, I might be biased because I'm from New York, but I'm going to say New York is the toughest place in the world to do anything.
Yeah.
Anything. I mean, Long Island has an insane amount of competition. There's no more land. It's not like they're building all these developments where realtors can come in and sell them. It's not like that. To sell 205 houses here is like selling 5,000 houses, anywhere else in the country. So you're doing this in the most competitive market out there. So you're getting the in-depth look of the day in, day out tips of the trade of what you do.
It's what it's there. And Charles, when I got into this business, there was never anybody that wasn't there. There was these gurus let's call them supposed gurus that, I'm a real estate coach, I'm a real estate trainer. But when was the last time they slung a house? Yeah. And did they ever do the volume that I did?
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, when I got into real estate 12 or 13 years ago, as a young boy, I had no clue what to do. And I was like, what do I do? Is this right? Is this right? What do I say? So literally I said, okay, I'm going to build a roadmap. It's my life's work. Mm-hmm. God's honest truth, it's my life's work. And even if no one buys one course, I had to put it out there because I had to leave it for somebody who will appreciate it, because a literate, average, middle-class kid has been blessed enough to build, generational wealth for his family through real estate. And now I'm telling you exactly how I did it.
And when you tell me all this, ironically, the thing that really resonates in my mind is your mother. Mm-hmm. Because you were able to stand there and take all the abuse. Because listen, I don't want anybody to get it twisted. You could buy this program, you can listen to it, and it could do one of two things. You could not implement it and nothing could happen, or you could implement it and put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and change your life forever.
Ever.
But you have to be willing to put yourself out there and do that.
And I didn't build it to become more wealthy. I didn't build it to become, mega rich. I built it because it's needed. Yeah. There's never anything out there. And there's some amazing coaches and trainers, but there's no one-stop shop course to show somebody the roadmap. Just think, if I can add one deal a year to a real estate agent to buy the course, it's going to pay for itself 10 times over.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a game changer. If you follow me on Instagram, which is Bryan Karp LI, we launched a new Instagram for the Illiterate Millionaire, but we'll throw everything through Bryan Karp LI once it launches. And our goal is hopefully, first quarter of 2021, March, April, it will be out there and we will promote it, and it's going to change. It's going to literally change the industry in my mind.
I'm so proud of you, man. I have absolutely no doubt. That's fucking awesome.
Thank
you.
What
I would really like for you to do, if you don't mind, is just give, from a sales and marketing standpoint, because agents are always like, I need to market better. Give the people out there who are listening a little taste on the marketing side of what they're going to learn when they buy the course.
Yeah. So the course is, selling 50 homes a year, selling 100 homes a year, selling 200 homes a year. It's like a table. And with a table stands up with 4 legs. So we really dive into each leg, and we have tremendous information about prospecting and how to build business and create business. I say this all the time, is you give a man a fish, they eat just one day. But if I teach you how to fish, you eat forever. So I'm literally going to teach them how to fish. And so we speak about every aspect of prospecting, the ones that work, the ones that don't work. And then we talk about branding, and then building a brand and trying to build a household name, and how to start dominating little, I call them villages, but how you start dominating little areas. Like, you can't I didn't wake up 13 years ago and try to take over Long Island. I didn't even wake up 13 years ago and try to take over Suffolk County. I woke up 13 years ago and tried to take over one town.
Yeah.
And I just started searching who was the top player in that town, and I was so blown away when I saw how many transactions they were really doing. I was like, oh, they're doing 7 deals a year in that area, in that village. All I got to do is 8, and I'll be the top dog. And then I took it from 1 village to 2 villages to 3 villages, and then I started building it out from there.
Brick by brick.
And that's exactly how this course works. And it starts you off very slowly and starts building it out. A lot to do, and I don't ever say that I'm like this law of attraction, samurai, but it goes through exactly what your mind needs to be thinking. If you want to make millions of dollars a year, like professional athletes do, all right? Professional athletes, NFL players, basketball players make millions of dollars a year. The level that they run their lives and their business at is the highest level ever. So that's what this course also dives into, the way you need to run your life. Like, you need to restructure your life around your business, because it's not like life and business, it's all of one. So it talks about, health, fitness, mindset, spiritual stuff. It goes really into that because that's very important. Practicing, you got to practice what you're going to say. You can't just be out there, with verbal diarrhea coming out of your mouth, not being knowledgeable, respectful, and being able to handle the objections and everything that comes in. So we dive directly into that. But you look at NFL players, they are eating right all the time. They are working out all the time. They're treating their bodies like a temple, because they are making millions of dollars a year. So if you want the opportunity to make millions of dollars a year, you need to run your business and life just like that.
Last thing for you, how old are you now? 38?
37.
37 years old. You've accomplished a lot. You're nowhere near done, nowhere near happy being done. Mm-hmm. What's the next 10 years look like?
Next 10 years is now starting to bring in proteges of myself to help scale and run all of the different businesses. So that's really where I see myself. And I created a whiteboard in my office, and it goes through multiple different businesses and streams. We're all about multiple streams of income. And that's really what it is. I feel like I'm trying to blow up now after being number one, but I want to blow up as a business now. Yeah. I've been lucky enough and blessed enough to succeed in real estate, but that was an entry level. Like, that was my gateway to where, to be at the table I always felt like I deserved to be at.
Yeah.
But they didn't know and believe that I deserved to be there. So now that I've had the gateway and the entry to this, and now I'm sitting at the table. Now it's how do we build some multiple businesses from there. So the Illiterate Millionaire is going to be a game changer.
Absolutely.
And my goal is to be speaking on it and helping build that machine. I'm so passionate about the Coach brand, so I want to help everything I can to help build out that because it's just such a great brokerage. The Bryan Karp team, we're going to be building that out as well, bringing in top listing agents, top buyers agents to serve every capacity of real estate. We're also, as you are as well, is, our long-term why is rental real estate. Rental real estate is my hobby and addiction, and it's the whole why behind everything. So we are continuing to add, doors, as we like to say it in our business. Mm-hmm. I came in here and I met Charles, his property manager. My first thing was, how many doors you got? I'm gonna get a shirt. You know how the shirts say "Got Milk"?
Yeah,
got doors.
Got doors.
Got doors, because that's in rental real estate. That's how we like to flex our muscles, and that's how we like to, keep each other on par. How many doors you got? So, of course, with Jessica's help, because she is my property manager and runs the day-to-day of the rental portfolio, is continuing to add amazing, good cash flow real estate. Like that's what I get excited for in the morning, building out that platform. And then also, 2021, we've partnered with an amazing property management company, and now we're opening up a company called Gold Coast Maintenance. Mm-hmm. So Gold Coast Maintenance is a child of a portion of Jessica and myself's life and a portion of a friend of mine's property management company. And basically what it was is handyman services.
Yeah.
Literally, we had a full-time handyman managing Jessica and myself's portfolio. And we were like, oh my God, when this guy leaves, like, what do we do? You can't, even things around our own house, like, what do we do? Oh my God, because I don't have time to deal with this.
Yeah.
So we needed this, and I said to my buddy, he's like, I need this too for the property management company. So we merged it together, and now we're built like a stand-up brand where they return your phone calls. You could trust the men and women that will be in your house. They will be respectful. You'll know what you're going to be charged right from the get-go, and the job will get done, and it will get done in a timely fashion. It won't be like, I can't get the contractor to show up. So I'm really excited. When that is out there, I'll let everyone know. We'll have, an app for it. You could download and just order the services for it. It's going to be great.
Awesome, bro. I love you. I always appreciate you coming down. I love feeling the fire and the energy. I hope everybody out there can feel it. If people are interested in the Coach brand or anything that you're doing, because there's a plethora, obviously, the Illiterate Millionaire coming out, how do they find you? How do they get in touch with you? How do they see you on social media?
Sure. Best way to find me is on Instagram, which is Bryan Karp LI. You could also follow me on Facebook, YouTube as well, Bryan Karp LI. We are not at the level that the Handsome Homebuyer is at, but we are always out there producing content. So we try to give you guys as much inside and back of the sales giant and the real estate business. So we put all of that, and all of it lives on our YouTube page, which is Bryan Karp LI, or even my website, which is just soldbybryan.com.
Love it. And obviously, I'm the Handsome Homebuyer. You have a house that smells like cat pee, land, commercial property. You know I want to buy it. 51677 sold. And for permits or anything permit related all across Long Island, you got to call the captain. Know before you go. 516-513-8838. That's a wrap.